Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new piercing video. I have not done one of these in such a long time, so I'm really glad that I'm back doing another one. So in the past, I have done the most painful piercings, the most extreme piercings, the most unusual piercings. So in this one, I'm going to be listing off some of the most dangerous piercings and body modifications. But quickly before I do start, if you are new to my channel, make sure you do subscribe. I do videos every single week regarding a whole variety of topics, and I'm trying to get my silver play buttons. We're almost there, so let's get it, bitch. Get it, oh, I don't know what the hell that was. So to start this list off, I'm going to be talking about snake eye piercings. Oh my lord, seriously, I cannot tell you how many times I get asked to talk about snake eye piercings. So, snake eye piercings is a piercing that goes horizontally through your tongue, through this part here, and then there's a ball that sits on either side of the tongue. Now, a lot of piercers will not do this piercing for you because it is actually quite a controversial one. There is lots of health risks and dangerous things attached to it, so a lot of places will refuse you to have this done. Now, some of the main reasons why this is quite a dangerous piercing. For the first one, your tongue is basically like two different muscles in a sense. You've got either side is kind of like independent of each other. Now my hands are all gross, I'm licking my fingers. Like obviously when you can do things like this, obviously it uses both sides of your muscles. When you're putting one bar that sits on either side of it, you're basically restricting your tongue's movement. So you will not be able to do certain things like talking will become quite difficult because there are certain things in it that like it kind of holds your tongue more still. Think of it like your fingers. If your fingers are like this, you're free to do what you want. Now, if you put like something in between it that holds them all together, you're kind of stuck and you're kind of like, you can't do as much. And it works the same thing as with your tongue. Also, you have to remember that your tongue does contain a lot of blood vessels, and you are, instead of like piercing like to the top to the bottom, where it kind of like goes through a tiny bit of your tongue itself, because you are going all the way through horizontally, it's a lot more risk for you to like get more bleeding, more blood will come out and everything. Like it's a lot more dangerous to like pierce blood vessels more because you are going through obviously such like a thick bit of your tongue. And like if you knock it when you're healing, it's gonna bleed and bleed and bleed. Like it's not one of those piercings you're gonna get and have like a light-hearted healing process. Like it's gonna be a while. Now, for one of the main reasons that people don't like to do it is because it's basically asking to have your teeth enamel ripped out of your face. Because it's not, it's very extreme. It's not like it's like a tongue piercing where it sort of sits in the center of your tongue. And unless you sort of go like that, you won't really damage your teeth too much if you don't, like if you just kind of leave it alone. With this one, because it is sitting right at the front of your tongue, you cannot stop it from hitting your gums and your teeth. Like it's going to happen when you talk. You'll bite down on it. When you're eating, you might bite on it. Like it's one of those things that you will get tooth damage when you have this. Like there's nothing else you can do. It's going to damage your teeth. Any oral piercings like these obviously can cause damage to your teeth. Mine, actually, I'm really lucky that they don't hit my gums or my teeth at all. Like I've had these for years, well, at least this one for years, and I've had no problems with it. My labret piercing that I don't always have in did erode my gum bit in the front, which is why I don't really wear it in that often. Bear in mind that if you're gonna get this piercing, which I would advise against getting, your teeth are going to get ruined. Like you're going to damage your teeth so much with this. So for one that now does make me go rather cringy when I see it is Sub-Clavicle Piercings. Oh my gosh. This is one of those ones that I honestly thought was fake. When I first saw pictures of this, I thought it was fake. So these piercings are piercings that sit underneath your collarbone, and yes, you can get it done. So basically this is a piercing that sits underneath your collarbone here. So it goes through this part and then out here. Now, oh my gosh, first of all, I cannot even imagine how painful that must be. That must hurt so much. And I almost feel like I don't need to tell you why this is actually very, very risky to get with in the first place, but obviously I am. This isn't like a normal piercing where you're just going through skin. You have the potential to go through muscle tissue, through blood vessels. There's obviously going to be so much things inside here around your chest area that's going to be very damaging if you pierce. So you have to be so like particular about where you're putting this and so precise. So the potential to pierce through quite like a large blood vessel can happen. So now again, if you're gonna get this done, the person doing it, please do your research on how you're doing it. Don't just get any odd person to do it. I'm pretty sure a lot of places will probably say no to this anyway. Make sure the person understands the human anatomy and what's here and what blood vessels are there. Don't be like, oh, we're just gonna go through this bit now because it feels okay. Like, I'm assuming your body would push this out like a normal surface piercing. So like this is kind of like debatable whether it's a surface piercing or not, but like your body can reject it as well. So the bars will start coming out and showing, and please get rid of that. You don't want that pushing on the inside of your collarbone because that can probably cause you a lot of damage internally. I feel like, again, I don't need to say that much about this. Just looking at it, you can see why there'd be risks getting this done. So next we're gonna be talking about earlobe tearing. Ew. So I actually see so many people with torn earlobes, and it's basically from people wearing earrings that are far too heavy for your ear, and over time the bar kind of pushes through your ear and cuts it open and splits it all the way down. Now this normally happens when people have their earlobes done with piercing guns and they use the butterfly clips. Because the bar is like so thin, the weight of like a dangly earring or a big hoop just basically like cuts through the ear eventually. It doesn't hurt because it's over such a, like it's a slow process that happens, so it's not really that painful, but it's just because you're wearing heavy earrings and it basically cuts through your ear. The only way you can repair this is by surgery. You can't, like, it will not grow back. Like once you cut through it, that's it. You have to have surgery to heal it. If you're going to wear dangly hoop earrings, make sure they're not too heavy for your ear. Or if you're going to do it, please only wear it for a short amount of time. Don't do this on a daily thing. Don't wear earrings that are really heavy and it's pulling down on your earlobes, because you will tear through them and it does not look nice. Like, it does not look nice at all. Now obviously if you do stretch your earlobes too fast, you can rip them, and again you have to have surgery to get that done. Obviously as well, if you do have big earrings and you do catch them on something, there is a potential that your ear, like plug or something, could rip out and rip a hole in your ear. Again, you'll need surgery. But basically for this one, I'm talking more about the fact that if you do have like a piercing gun size needle, or even a 1.2mm bar, I would say you probably could do this as well. If you do wear really heavy earrings, you will rip through your ear over time. So next on the list is dermal punches. So this is obviously one that I do have myself. I have like a 6mm conch dermal punch in my left ear. I love it so much. I can, the camera's quite far away from me, so I'm hoping you can kind of see through my ear. Like, I love it so much. Like, it's just amazing. Now, if you saw my original video about when I got my dermal punch done, you'll know that I actually had quite a tricky process of getting this pierced. When I first originally went to the piercer to have it done, she refused to do it for me because she said there's so many risks involved that I really needed to go home and think about it. So some of the risks that were included were hearing loss. Now apparently you can lose your hearing from this piercing, and it's actually quite a few commenters have said this as well to me. So basically your ear works as like an ear canal, and it goes, as the sound comes towards you, it goes around your ear canal and then into your eardrum. But when you have a hole there in your ear, which I do now, the sound sort of just travels straight through. Instead of going around into your ear, it just goes straight through in one part of your ear and out the other. So you don't hear sound as well as you normally would. Now, luckily for me, I've never noticed any difference in my hearing. I've always had quite good hearing anyway, so like this has not caused any difference to my hearing at all. So I have not had any problems with that either. So the second thing she said is that I wouldn't be able to sleep on this side. Now, obviously, because it's such a big hole and it's being held in place like a big bit of metal, it is restricting the movement your ear can do. So if you do roll onto it when you are asleep, it can wake you up because it can be uncomfortable. Again, I've been very lucky that I've not had this problem. I can sleep on that side perfectly fine. Now, I have to keep in mind that I do have rather large ears. My ears aren't that small. So for me, I think because I have a large ear, like it doesn't matter too much if I put a bit of pressure here, like it doesn't bother me. Also, it can bleed a lot more. It bleeds a lot more during the healing process than a lot of other piercings do because obviously it is a lot bigger. Because it is obviously a lot bigger. And for a final risk it can carry is like ear collapsing. So because obviously your ear is obviously structured, obviously it's holding itself up. By taking out quite a large chunk of your ear, it can cause your ear to be slightly deformed or like collapse eventually. Like, it's something that can happen. I'm lucky enough that nothing's happened to me. Again, I think it's because I have quite large ears. So for me, I haven't really taken out that much, I'm burping, haven't really taken out that much of my ear itself for it to more like make much of a issue for me. So now we move on to eyelid piercings. Now, I did speak about this one in my most extreme body modifications, but it is on this list as well because it does apply to this one too. So again, I feel like I don't need to say too much about why eyelid piercings would be very damaging to your face, or your eye I should say. Any piece of metal that is going to be along your eyelid is going to damage your eye. You blink all the time. The healing process of getting that done would be ridiculous because you're constant. How many times a day do you blink? You're going to be moving that piercing non-stop, like non-stop, more than anything you'll ever get. Like, that is going to be a piercing that is going to be so problematic to heal. It probably won't, it probably won't heal completely ever because it's going to be so, there's going to be so much movement in your eye that it just won't work. Also, again, having a piece of metal rubbing against your eye all the time is going to damage your sight. Like, it's going to damage your sight. I don't judge people for what they want to do. Obviously, I'm quite modified myself, but don't get this done. Like, no piercing is worth losing your eyesight over. Also, I feel like it would make your eyelid rather heavy because your eyelids aren't exactly very strong. Like, they're not going to hold weight. So the thought of having this on your eyelid, like surely it would damage, like be it like you won't be able to lift your eye up very much. I don't know. Again, I don't feel like I need to say that much about this one because I feel like it's very evident why it's not a good idea. So one final thing I do want to add in this video, I'm gonna do a video about aftercare and all that stuff eventually anyway, but just one little quick note I want to put, that if you do get piercings, just remember that it's just because something seems a little bit less extreme or less dangerous or whatever, like it is still a hole in your body and you can still get blood poisoning, you can still get infections. So please, please, please make sure you go to a body piercer. Don't just do home piercings yourself and think, oh, this will be fine because I know what I'm doing. Please do your research. Please go to a professional and make sure you keep your piercing clean. You can still get blood infections. You can still get infections and gangrene on your ear and stuff and keloids and stuff. Like just please be aware that if you're going to get a piercing, make sure you do it right. Keep it clean. Keep it hygienic. Don't play with it. Just leave it alone and let it heal. So that has been 5 dangerous piercings that you could potentially get. If you have liked this video, please give it a like. If you have any more suggestions you would like me to do for future piercing videos, please leave it in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe. I do videos every single week. And a massive shout out to Kelly and Jordan, who are my top 2 patrons. I love you so much. So if you'd like to come on Patreon and support me, there is a link in the description. Also, I'll see you very soon. Social media links in the description. And yeah, bye.